What's going on, everybody? This is Echo Ninja, the ninja that's kicking it with you. And today is Friday, so we know what that is. It is Titans Day. That's right, Titans Day. Today is actually the one episode that I've been looking for. It's not what I thought it'd be, but it's even better. Better. Yeah. The episode is Bruce Wayne, and it's called Bruce Wayne. And according to how the episode is, basically Bruce Wayne is like he's like his subconscious, Dick Grayson's subconscious, because of basically what happened in the last two episodes with the whole deathstroke thing. Dick basically feels responsible for what happened with the whole situation, and everybody's going through PTSD and all this other stuff. But Dick is basically going through it even more because of a certain thing that happens at the very end. Now, of course, I haven't said any other videos, but if you haven't seen it, this is a spoiler alert right now. I'm letting you know right at this moment. If you have not seen this, go see it. If you have your, DC streaming service or any other way of watching it, go see it. I recommend it. And on that note, we are going to start this review. Now, of course, it starts out with Jason Todd, who's basically having a hallucination of himself falling. And that's kind of like a reoccurring thing this entire episode, because he's basically in this like PTSD trance because he can't get over that fact that he almost died. It was a near-death experience. So, after that, we basically come towards Dick Grayson, who basically walks into the costume room, and next you know, he's having a literal conversation with Bruce Wayne. But it's not the real Bruce Wayne. It's basically his subconscious version of Bruce Wayne. And it's pretty cool how basically, I guess, Dick has his own version of Bruce in his mind. Dawn comes in and basically gives him the 411 about Connor, Superboy, from the last episode, saying that he's not doing so well after she patched him up because, there's not much else she can do. Now, they go in there and they meet up with Corey, who's basically there, trying to make sure he's comfortable and everything. Now they offer the advice of trying to call Bruce, who his subconscious, really funny, kind of all like, "Hey, you got my number." So now down in the training room, we got Jason Todd beating the hell out of a punching bag, and Dick Grayson comes down, trying to console him, comfort him, but of course, Jason Todd is just not having it because he's in his own head. Find out if he's okay and all that other stuff. And of course, the subconscious of Bruce Wayne starts rolling in, cracking jokes, saying, "Yeah, he can. Looks like he can use some therapy. Some medication, some uppers, some downers, some in betweens." And it's really funny to see this different version of him. But again, this is Dick Grayson's subconscious talking. He does run into the old Titans gang who's eating Chinese in the kitchen, and they're wondering, why did he break protocol? Why did he go solo? And then Dick is of course all like, "Oh, it's a tactical error." And then of course Bruce, sub Bruce, we're gonna call him Sub Bruce. Sub Bruce was basically saying, that's military talk. That's the great way of evading the question and all that stuff. And it's like he's like getting him one after another with this whole thing. And and then Dick just says, "I'm going out. I'll be back later." All this other shit, and they just look like they've had it, with him. So, in the next one, the next part of this show, we get to see, of course, Connor again and Corey, and she's checking up on him. Then he fucking suddenly wakes up, and he's speaking Kryptonian, and then she also speaks Kryptonian as well, back to him, you know, and then Dawn comes in and says, "Well, what the hell was what was that? What was he speaking?" And then Corey tells him, "Oh, he's speaking a dead language. He's speaking Kryptonian." And then it kind of shoots a light bulb in their head about who this person is. So after that, we go to Cadmus Laboratories, where we meet also Mercy Graves, and we meet Eva Watson, the doctor who created Connor. The scene that we see, of course, they're like moving in Crypto with his like kryptonite, collar and everything in a box, keeping him contained. And then basically Mercy gives her the boot because she says that Lex basically wants to end this project and move on to Subject 14. Tells Watson that 13 was terminated. Watson is just all like, "So you killed him? Like, what?" She's like, "Oh, what are we supposed to do? We can't just leave something like that out there, Can you imagine someone with the mind of Lex Luthor who's a super?" And it's like, that's everybody's thought process on that. Like, yeah, that's what I was saying to you earlier, bitch. But you guys wanted to pull it off. Even Mercy thinks that shit was stupid and crazy. So she basically fires her and stuff like that. And she gives her badge and stuff. So, and while she's leaving the premises, she basically steals someone else's badge to try to bust Crypto out and to find Connor. And after that, then we move back to Grayson, who's visiting an old friend of his, whose name is Benny. And, I'm guessing it's an old friend or maybe an old informant, one or the other. Because this guy, obviously, he's had ties to the underworld with weapons, information, and all that other stuff from what we hear. And Dick's trying to get information on where Slade is. Of course, this guy doesn't want to make it easy. And Sub Bruce shows up, with his little banter. And he's kind of antagonizing Dick so much to the point where Dick actually breaks it and starts talking to Bruce. And the other guys are like, what the hell's going on? So then he just goes all Batman on him to force the information out of him, to tell him where he can find information about Slade. So basically, the guy gives him the name of his handler, who's Evergreen. And Evergreen is like dating these two twins and stuff like that from this place that Dick is going to go to find another person who knows where those three are, who's got a made-up name, straight up made-up name, that both Dick and Sub Bruce said at the same time. The name was Maddie Matisse. Yeah. Oh, man. Sub Bruce just has me rolling every time he opens his mouth. And it just gets better. It really just gets better. Oh, man. So then we head back to the tower where Hank, he gets out of the shower, and then he ends up having a little surprise of a bottle of bourbon waiting for him. Now he's all like, what the hell? You know, who's pulling this damn prank? They know I got issues type shit. And then we roll to Jason Todd, who's going through his whole trans again. You know, uh, going through the whole trans of falling and all this other stuff. He's just looking out the window, listening to this grunge metal music type shit. And then he gets a little surprised at the door, who's Rose, wondering what the hell type of music he's playing and what the hell his problem is. She seems pretty comfortable talking to him because he's the one who gives less bullshit towards her. And those two, they get kind of a liking towards each other later on. You know, a little smoochy. You know, she even like closes the door, all like, you know, I'll be the DJ type stuff. So, you know, these teenagers, they're both thinking, oh man, you know, the greatest thing about it with that situation, she's a distraction for him, he's a distraction for her. At that time, I mean, it works, right? So, after that, that scene kind of comes back later with some big surprise. So later on, Dick Grayson, he gets to the place they need to be to, meets up with Maddie Matisse, and holy crap, the funniest scene ever is Ian Glenn just dancing on the stage with these two other dancers. Of course, you know, seeing Ian Glenn as Bruce Wayne dancing on the stage like he's back in the 60s, because it even Easter egged 1966 with him doing the Bat-Tusi, which was so funny. So funny. Oh my god, the Bat-Tusi, like going this way and shit like that. Crazy. And another Easter egg, if you haven't noticed, the two girls their colors were yellow and red. I think it was yellow and red. And it was the color of Robin. You know, the green wasn't in there, but those were the colors of Robin, which was really interesting how they put that together. Now again, we get back to the tower, and you know what? I'll just make a whole thing of it. Basically, everyone's getting kind of screwed around with their past. Hank with the booze, Dawn with a picture of the boy that her and Hank tried to help, who died thanks to Dr. Light, and also the orange soda that signified Aqualad. That it was the orange soda that he always gave Donna Troy, and also then a scene with when we go back to Jason and Rose after they get this big ass smooch when she's talking about dancing and she's dancing with him. She looks into the record box and finds a record with her brother Jericho's signature on it. And then she goes fucking ballistic because she's all like, you guys are messing with me, this and that, all this other junk. And I'm like, oh man. And it was crazy. It was very crazy. And then, you know, the doctor comes with the doctor. I forgot to tell you that the doctor got Crypto out. And what the hell happened? Crypto fucking flew that bitch out. Like, seriously. Flew her out the motherfucking window. This dog is the shit. This dog is the shit. But she ends up at Titan Tower, and she tells them that basically the only way for him to get better is high radiation, which basically Corey is a lot of. She's basically solar radiation incarnate. And these are the first times in this whole episode that we finally see Rachel and Garth. We only see Garth maybe like twice in this episode, and we see I think Rachel in maybe like three parts of this episode maybe. But Rachel helps contain the solar flare that Corey's trying to make to get Connor better. And then once it works, of course, you got naked Connor, and yeah, he's fine. He's fine. It was a little touching moment between him and the doctor, where he got to call her mom. Basically, he was giving her the okay to call her that, and it was kind of cute. It was nice. Then we moved to the church scene. No, sorry, not the church scene. We moved to the hotel where Dick needed to go to. He meets up with Evergreen, and this is where he starts to lose his shit, like bad, and he basically gets a phone call from Deathstroke. Dick Grayson gets a phone call from Deathstroke, telling him to meet him at a certain location. Now, while all this shit is going on, basically, like, everybody at the tower is literally going nuts right now, and they're getting paranoid and all this other stuff. And even Rachel, when she goes in her room, she sees crosses all over the place. She gets pissed and she blames Jason. Now, Jason's already got enough on his plate, and then everybody at the tower is literally blaming him for all of this shit because they think he's the practical joker who's doing this. All the while, back at the church, which is where Slade told Dick to meet him at, this is where Sub Bruce and Dick have a heart-to-heart, where Bruce is basically telling him the only way for him to get rid of him, the only way for Dick to get rid of Bruce, Sub Bruce, is to tell the truth. To tell the truth that basically he was responsible for the death of Jericho. Which is what he reveals at the very end of the show. Now, all the while, there are pictures all over the altar of the church that were taken within and outside the tower, which means that Deathstroke has been playing these guys the entire time. Holy crap. That, like, Deathstroke is, like, playing the long game with this. So much. And Dick Grayson shows up at the tower, after everybody's accusing Jason, and, then he realizes Jason is missing, and goes up to the roof. Jason was about to commit suicide, and that's when Dick Grayson revealed that he killed Jericho. He killed Jericho. Now, even though that part when he came in, he was like, Sub Bruce was like, who's missing? He's like, and what's name said Jason? No, bitch. Rose is missing. Rose is gone. You didn't know that? But I was about to say Jason was the only one missing. But, oh my God, I love this. This episode was really cool. It really showed a different side of Bruce, even though it wasn't real Bruce. It was Sub Bruce. Showed this cat and mouse game that Deathstroke is playing with the entire team. And we got to see Crypto fly. Like, the show is making things so much better for me when it comes to a lot of DC, because DC lately, people have been on the reins with Batwoman and stuff like that. Like I said, some people, they didn't like it. When you see the second episode, you may have a second opinion with Batwoman, but back on Titans, please see this show. If you have not, please see this show. And if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Also, when you do subscribe, hit the bell so you can get access to all of our other content. And yeah, man, I'm still waiting for this suit, man. They've been teasing the Nightwing suit for so long. But yeah, I'm gonna sign off, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.